Hi everyone. So today I'm going to show you the 6th lab program, that is how to parse the XML file and JSON file, JavaScript object notation file. So question goes like this: create two files of XML and JSON type with values of city name, latitude, longitude, temperature, and humidity. You got to create two files, one with XML file, one XML file and one JSON file with all this data. And then you have to develop an application to create an activity with two buttons to parse XML and JSON file. So which when clicked should display the data in their respective layouts side by side. So sample is also given. So this is what the UI that you need to design now. So UI, simple UI with the title as parsing XML and JSON data. You should have parse XML data one button and parse JSON data another button. And this is what the output. Output should be displayed like this. Okay. When I click on parse XML data, so you should get like this. The XML data, it should go for reading the data from the XML file, parse it and display. And similarly, when I click on the parse JSON data, it should go for reading the data from the JSON file, parse it and display here. And while displaying, again, the question says side by side. So when I click on the XML data here, when I click on the JSON, parse JSON data here, it side by side it should come. So this is what the program we are going to do now. So I'm opening the Android Studio. I've already kept it open. I've created an Android project with the name P6. So let me go to the code view. So this is the activity main.xml. I'm going to the code view and I'm going to design something like this. Okay, so this. So let me change the layout to the linear layout. So I'm using linear layout and orientation. I'm choosing it as vertical. Now this I'll remove and I'll change this to XML and JSON parser. So we'll go for increasing the size of the text size 30 sp I'll take. Text alignment I'll just do center. Okay. Now just after this I'll create one more button. So width I say match parent, height wrap content. Inside this, on click, I call the method with the name XML parser. And then text, I'll say XML parser. Text alignment center. So that's enough. Next, I create one more button. So again, width match parent, height wrap content. So again, on click of this, I call the method JSON parser. And text, I'll display it as JSON parser. And then text alignment, this is center. So this much, I'll go to the design and check it. So this is how it is looking. XML and JSON parser. Let us align this to center. XML parser and JSON parser. I'll go to okay, width I'll say match parent. Width is match parent. Now if I click on the design, yeah, it is aligned center. Now just below this, so I need to do like this. So the output should come like this, side by side. Okay. Now I'll just create a linear layout, nested linear layout with horizontal orientation. Okay, and I'll add two text views, one text view for displaying this, another text view for displaying this, and those two text views will be aligned horizontally. Okay, now here inside this, I'll create one more linear layout. So width, I say wrap content, height also wrap content. Inside the linear layout, so this linear layout orientation, I'll set it to horizontal. Inside this linear layout, I create two text views. Text view, just a second, it's showing busy symbol. Yeah, text view. So width, I'll say match parent, sorry, wrap content. Height also wrap content. ID is required for this because I need to access this in my Java code. Let us assign ID to this. So I'll assign ID as res XML. Okay, and then text size, let me take 15 SP, and then text alignment center. And then so I'll take one more padding, left padding. So if I come here, this left padding I need to give. Okay, so left padding I'll give 10 dp, and the right padding I'll take 40 dp because I need space between the XML data that is displayed and the JSON data that is displayed. So padding left, I'll take it as 10 dp, and then padding right, I'll take it as 40 dp. This much I'm doing. So if I click on the design, so you can see here I have one edit text. Okay, sorry, text view. So similarly, so one more text view I need to create. Text view. So again, wrap content, height also wrap content. So let me assign ID to this first. ID, I'll take it as res JSON, result JSON. And then text alignment, sorry, text size, let me define first. This also I'll make it as 15 SP. And then text alignment center, and then padding. See, for this, so I don't need this right padding. Let me give for go for giving the left padding. Left padding again I give 40 dp. So that means between this XML data and JSON data there will be a padding at a space of between space of 80 dp because we have 40 dp given in the XML data and 40 dp given. So 40 dp as the right padding in XML data and 40 dp as left padding in JSON data. So 40 plus 40, around 80 dp space you can see between XML data and JSON data. Okay, so padding left, I'll just say 40 dp, this much. Now we are done with the layout. Let me click on the design and show you once. This is how it looks. Okay. Now if we want, we can have the layout gravity as a center. Okay, now I have both the text views aligned to the center. Okay, let me now we'll go for writing our main activity.java, and before that, so we got to create the JSON file and XML file. Okay. Now where to create and how to create. So for creating the JSON file and XML file, so I suggest you to switch the view from the Android. We are in the Android view right now. So go here, change it to the project view. So once you change it to the project view, see you get something like this. And this is my project P6. I expand that. I go to the app. I expand it. And then I go to source. I expand it. On the main, I right click, go to new, create a directory. So what directory I need to create? I create a directory with the name assets. It's already there. Assets. Okay. Now if I can see assets is created, where you got to do? Go to the project view. So expand your project folder P6, and then app you expand, then src you expand, and on the main you right click, something like this, right click, new directory, and give the directory name as assets and create. So now assets is created. Now inside these assets, I'll go for creating file. Okay, one is, so it is the city data that we store. So I'll call it a city. Okay, dot XML. Inside assets, I've created an XML file with the name city.xml. So similarly, I got to create one more file, JSON file. Again, I go to file, city1.json. Okay. So since this name is also city, so the other name I'm taking it as city1.json. I press enter. See, city1.json is created. So you can also see the icon. So this is an XML file, and see the JSON file, how the icon looks. Okay. Now this is my, let me open the city.xml. This is city.xml, and nothing is there right now. Now I have the XML already ready here. See, this is my XML. So it's an XML file. So this is my root tag, records, and this is the closing. And inside this, I have the place tag. So this is one place tag which is storing the details of one place. This is another place tag. Okay. So right means there are two places records in my XML file. Again, if I go to place, the child tag is city name. So, and then latitude is there, longitude, temperature, and humidity. And this is the value. Okay. Similarly, the other places, city name. So same thing I've taken. Let me change this to Bangalore. So Bangalore, and then latitude, longitude, so temperature and humidity. Okay, this XML file, let me copy. I'm pasting it here. So my XML is ready. Let me click on save once, and I got to create my JSON file also. So I have the JSON also here. So this is what your JSON. So within this JSON, there are two records now. So this is one. So with the key value pair, a name Mysore, city name is Mysore, latitude, longitude, temperature, humidity. So this is represented in the form of an XML representation, and this is in the JSON representation. So name Bangalore, long, everything is there. Let me copy this. Paste it here. My JSON file is also ready. So after this, see assets, inside assets, I've created two things. One, city.xml and city1.json, and my files are also ready. Now after creating this, you can switch back to the Android view if required. Okay. Android view. So when I'm switching back to the Android view, again you can see there is a folder with the name assets here, and if I expand this, city and city1.json. Okay. Next, we'll go for writing our main activity.java. Now here I'll create text view objects. One is res XML, another one is res JSON. So these are the two text view objects I'm creating. So now res XML is equal to, fine. Let us make this res XML point to the res XML text view. r dot id dot. I've given the ID of the first text view as res XML. Same thing I'm given. Next, similarly, res JSON is equal to find view by ID r dot id dot res JSON. So I've created a reference to both the text views. So next, let us go for writing the code for XML parsing. Okay, so here for XML parsing, see, on click, I'm calling XML parser. Okay, so let us complete this. Public void. So many classes will come here. You got to remember all of them. Public void. So XML parser view v. Okay. Now, so we have many classes here. So let us start writing one by one. So before that, let me access my file. Okay. So city.xml. This is the XML parser, right? I'm going to parse the city.xml. Okay. So how to read? So I'm creating an object of type input stream. Input stream. So you require the package java.io input stream. I give the name of the object of is equal to get assets dot open, because I have my file inside the assets folder. Open. So name of the file is city.xml. I'm opening my file city.xml, which is there inside assets. So now this says, so open should be surrounded with try and catch. Okay, I'm surrounding it with try and catch. I've just added try and catch. Now after opening, after creating the input stream is, so next is, so we got to create a document build factory. Okay, there is a class with the name document build factory. So document builder factory. So let me take the name of the object as db factory. db factory is equal to, so document builder factory dot new instance. So after this, so you need to create, there is one more class with the name document builder. So after creating an object of type document builder factory, so name of the object now what I've taken is db factory. Now using this db factory object, you need to create another object of type document builder. So all this sequence you got to remember. Document, which is an XML parser basically. Okay, so document builder. So I take the name of the object as dbuilder. Dbuilder is equal to, so now db factory, my object dot, so new document builder. So again, this is saying, so it has to be add this parser configuration exception, IO exception with catch. Okay, let me click this. Okay, so it has added parser configuration exception. Next. So you got to create another object of type document. So document, oh, not this. Document doc is equal to, so now using dbuilder. So dbuilder dot parse, got to pass the input stream. So my input stream object is now is. So I'm passing that. Again, so it says, so this exception needs to be handled. Again, let me press this. See, SAX exception is added. Next, so after this, using doc, I need to create the document element. How? Like this. Element. So let me take the name of the object as element is equal to, so the previous object doc dot get document element. Get document element. What this is going to do, this is going to read the elements from the XML file. Now after reading, so you got to normalize the element. Element dot normalize. After this, so you got to specify the root node from where the data has to be read. If I take this, my root tag is places. Within records, it is place. I'll go here and then, so I need to create the node list. Node list. I'll take the name of the object as nList is equal to doc dot get elements by tag, and name of the tag is place. Name of the tag is place. This is what I've given. Okay, P is in lowercase. Let me change it to lowercase. So name of my root tag. So now after, so this what it will do. So it will find how many such place tags are there. So in my city.xml, there are two place tags. This is one and this is two. Okay. So and that is assigned to nList. nList is 2 right now. Okay. Next. RDS XML dot set text. So I display the text as XML data. So after setting XML data, so I go for running a for loop because I got to iterate now. Iterate so with all the places record and display the what tag name along with the value. So for int I is equal to 0, I less than nList dot get length. Now what nList dot get length? nList will have this entire thing. So all the places record. So when I say get length, how many such places records are there? 2 places records there. It will return the value 2. So I plus plus. Inside this now, so I create one more object, node is equal to nList dot item of I. I'm just trying to get the first record. So this record. Okay. After getting the first record, so I got to check whether it is of type node. Okay, element node. How to check? I got to run a conditional statement if node, this one, node dot get node type equal to node dot element node. If this is true, okay, so then I got to cast this node so into of type element. Okay, element. So let me take the name of the object as element 1 or 2, anything we can take. Element 2 I'll give because element I've already used is equal to element and then so node it is. So this means after doing this, now we can go for displaying the data. So how to display? See, I've already set XML data as the data for my res XML. Now res XML dot set text. Now to this, I'll append res XML dot get text. Now why get text I'm doing? Because I need to append this XML data. Okay. Get text plus, so I'll give new line because all the key value pairs I'm going to display in a new line. Then sorry. So first is name. So let me say it as city name. City name. So we just put a colon, close the double quote plus get value. Get value. So get value is not a built-in function. We got to write the definition for it. I'm writing the tag name now. So what is the name of the tag? So it is city name. Okay. City name get tag city name comma element. City name from where? From my element 2. Element 2. After this plus, so I need to have one more new line character. So get value, it is showing in red. Let it show because so we haven't written the definition for get value yet. Okay. So next what I'll do is I'll just copy and paste the same thing. So just city name we're displaying now. Now we got to display latitude, longitude, temperature and humidity. So let me change this. So instead of city name, it is, what is the second one? Is latitude. Latitude and name of the tag is LAT in lowercase. One more. After latitude, it is longitude. LONG, long. So it is in lowercase, I guess. Yeah, long is in lowercase. Longitude. Next is temperature. So this you can write anything. I'll write full temperature. And here it should be the tag name. What is the name of the tag? It is TEMP. You got to write it as TEMP only. And after this, so last one is humidity. humidity, and this one I'll change it to humidity. Let me check whether it is H's in lowercase or uppercase. Yeah, it is in lowercase. HUMIDITY, humidity. And after this, so what I'll do is, so I'll just go for writing a few dashes, okay, for better visuality. That's all. So Control V, let me put. So after this, so I'll remove everything till here, and let me put few like this, because after displaying every record, I go for displaying this. Okay, yeah, enough, I think, till here. So next. Okay, so now this is the closing for if, this is the closing for loop, and this is the closing for try. Okay, catch is already there, and this is the closing for this. Okay, we are done with XML parser. So, but we haven't written the get value method. So before writing the JSON parser, let us go for writing the definition for get value. Okay, so private, so static. So I'm making it as a static method. String, because it returns string, I'm taking the return type as string. So name of the method is get value. Two things I'm passing here in get value. One is the tag name, another one is the element. Okay, so string tag comma. So other one is of type element. I'll take the object name as element itself. Now inside this, I got to create a node list. Node list is equal to this element. Okay, this element object, element dot get element by tag name. So where is what is the name of the tag? So name of the tag is this. So this is what I'm passing, city tag. So all these things are the tags. I'm giving it as tag dot item of 0. Okay, dot get child nodes. So right now, so in my XML, so this within the place, this is the child node, and nested child nodes are not there. Okay, so that's why, so 0, item of 0 is sufficient. So node is equal to node list dot item of 0. Now return node dot node value. Get node value. Now what this is going to do, so when the tag name city is passed, it's going to return the value associated with city name. What is it? Mysore. Okay, done. So this is your get value. Now after writing the definition for the get value, you can see everything get which was in red is now changed its color. Now we'll go for writing the definition of our JSON parser. So here again, so let us create a string variable with the name JSON. Now again, input stream I'll take the name of the object as is is equal to, so again get assets dot open. So now the file which I need to open is this one, city1.json. 1.json. This is the file. So again, open needs to be enclosed inside the try and the catch. So I'm saying surround with try and catch. So after that, so I need to check whether what is the size of my JSON file. Okay, so int, so I take a variable with the name size is equal to is dot available. So I get the size, and using this size I create a byte array. So just to create the byte array, so using this available, I'm finding the size of my JSON file. Okay. Buffer, name of the array I'm taking it as buffer is equal to new byte of, I pass the size here. So I'm creating a buffer of size equal to my JSON. Now I go for reading is my input stream is dot read and fill the buffer. Buffer is created. Now by buffer, I'm going to fill it by reading the data from my JSON file. Next, after that, I close my input stream. This input stream is not necessary now, so I'm going to use the buffer for doing my further calculation. Okay. Now let us go for JSON is equal to new string. I'm passing my buffer, comma UTF. So I'm just defining the character type. So UTF-8, universal transfer format, 8-bit. That is ASCII representation. So next, we'll create the JSON array. So here, JSON array. So I'm giving the name of the array as JSON array itself. Okay, but this JSON, you can just observe this. I'm writing in lowercase. So JSON array is equal to new JSON array, and you pass JSON. So this is what we have created. Okay. So again, JSON, JSONARRAY, correct. So but this again requires an exception to be handled. I'm pressing Alt Enter. It says, so this JSON exception needs to be handled. Let me click this. So now you can see JSON exception is also added. Next. Now I go for using my res JSON dot set text. So I display the text as JSON data. Now after this, I run a for loop again for int I is equal to 0, I less than JSON array length. So now input stream is not necessary. I use JSON array dot length I plus plus. Now what I do here, I go for reading the JSON object. So JSON object. So let me take the name of the object as obj is equal to JSON array array dot get JSON object. So I'm passing the index I. Now what this is going to do, this is going to get the first object, this one, okay, at index 0, and this is at index 1. After that, I go for printing. Okay. Res JSON dot set text, similar to what we did here for XML. Set text. Again, inside this, res JSON dot get text plus I need a new line. Now inside this new line, I just say city name, put a colon. Now again plus, and then so now get value is not necessary since we have the JSON object here. Using this obj dot get string, you can directly by passing the key value, you can directly get the value associated with it. So JSON dot object dot get string, and the name of the attribute is, so name of the key is name. So this is what I need to pass. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll copy the same thing. Paste it for one more time. So next is latitude. I'll write it as LAT, and this tag name is LAT in lowercase. Oh, I need so one more new line here. So just after this, I need one more new line because I want the next key value pair to be displayed in the next line. Okay, so here also same plus slash n. Okay, now I'll copy this. After latitude, it is longitude. LONG. So this is in lowercase LONG, I guess. Let me check. Yeah, LONG. Next is temp and then humidity. Okay, I made a mistake here. HUMI. HUMI. Okay. So now I come here. So longitude is done. Next is temperature. And the name of the tag is temp. And the last one is humidity. HUMIDITY. And this is humidity in lowercase. HUMIDITY. Okay. And as I did here, just after that, so I'll go for displaying the dash. So from here to here, I'll remove everything and then I'll display some dashes. Okay, this much. So we are done with the program now. So this is the function which is parsing the XML. So you got to remember all these classes and the sequence how it should be used. Okay, so now let me save this. Okay, this is how it looks. So JSON parser looks like this. Okay, I'm running it. So my Gradle build is running. So you can see here my city.xml, city1.json. JSON in the assets. So any number of places you can add. So right now we have taken only 2 places here. So 2 places record, and JSON also same thing. 2 places records are there. So Gradle build is still running. So meantime, we'll just go through this. So activity main. So if you just observe, so we have created a text view just to display the title as XML and JSON parser, a button. So when click on this button, it calls this XML parser, and another button, when you click on this button, it calls JSON parser. And inside that outer linear layout, we have an inner linear layout. So this outer linear layout is vertical orientation and inner linear layout is horizontal orientation. Inside this, we have 2 text views, one for displaying the result of your XML parsing, another for displaying the result of JSON parsing. So this was our simple UI, and after that, after creating the UI, we went and we created the city.xml and we created the city1.json. So we created, so we changed our view to the project. So we expanded our project folder, we expanded the app folder, we expanded the source, and on the main we right clicked, and then we created the assets folder, assets, and then inside the assets we created the XML file and then the JSON file. So and then we started writing the main activity .java. Now here I created 2 objects, text view object. One is res XML, res JSON. I made these 2 objects to point to the edit text res XML and res JSON. After that, I accessed my city.xml from the assets. So and then I created an input stream object with the name is, and then we created an instance of document builder factory with the name db factory. Using db factory, I created a document builder which is an XML parser basically. Now using this dbuilder object, which is of type document builder, which is an XML parser, I passed my input stream into a document, and then using this document I created get document element, because so it is in the form of a document. Now I got to read them in the form of elements. Okay, so and after reading getting it in the form of the element, you got to normalize it, and then I'm just getting the elements which are there inside my XML by using get element by tag and the place. I'm just finding how many places tags are there. Now I'm defining the data as XML data, and then here I'm running a for loop for the length of my list. So the length of my list is right now 2, because there are 2 places here. So 2 times it will run. So and what I'm doing, so I'm going for setting the data, read the value associated with the tag city name, and I'm adding it as the text to res XML text view. So I keep doing the same thing. Okay, so why? So I'm setting here, I'm getting here because to the previous content I need to append. Okay, so I'm reading the previous content, to that content I'm appending this. Reading the previous content, to that I'm appending this. Reading the previous content, to that I'm appending this. So it goes like this. So and then get value, so is our own function which is written here, which is going to return the value associated with that particular tag. And after that, so we went and wrote the JSON parser. So for this we created a string variable with the JSON, and then again as we did in the XML using get assets, I opening city1.json, so to input stream, finding the size of the JSON, and based on the size of the JSON I'm creating a byte array with the name buffer, and then reading from my input stream and filling the buffer, and after filling this buffer I'm closing my input stream, and then setting my buffer to the character set uniform transfer format 8-bit ASCII code character representation, then creating a JSON array out of my string JSON string, And then here I'm creating a JSON object with the name obj, and then iterating over my JSON array to the length of the JSON array, and using this obj object. So by invoking this get string and passing the key value, I'm obtaining the value associated with the key, and then every time I'm accessing it, I'm appending it to JSON res JSON text view. So this is what I'm doing. So my Gradle build is still running. So let us wait for some more time. Okay. So waiting for all target devices to come online. Now it is installing. So launching the activity. Yeah, succeeded. So this is not the one. Yeah, this is what we created. So XML and JSON parser, XML parser, JSON. Let me click on XML parser now. See my XML data, and this is my XML. So city, name, Mysore, latitude, longitude, everything is displayed. Now let me click on JSON parser also. See when I clicked on the JSON parser, so I have the JSON data parsed and displayed side by side. So this is how you got to execute and display the results. So this is the program XML and JSON parser. So here I end this. Thank you.